What's going on, guys? Just another little update on my Kyosho Blizzard. As you can see, I have a different body on it, um, as this was my original plans because, I hard body everything pretty much. The body is actually a toy Brooder Mercedes body, as you can see. And I already put an LED light bar on the top of it. I'm still in mock-up stages, but it's sitting there. It's probably going to be sitting in that position. There was a lower part to this cab, which I have removed, and it actually made it look so much better and actually suited the Blizzard so much better. The flatbed is off a different other Brooder toy. It is long, as you can see, so I will be shortening it. There is a top piece to here too for the headache rack, but I am going to be shortening it. Like I said, I will be making it tilt and everything with an actuator, but it will not stay green. That's for sure. I'm probably gonna paint the cab too. I just don't know what colors I'm gonna do yet. But as you can see, this is kind of the idea where I'm going for. There's going to be lots of LED lights all over this, so that's going to be a fun task. So I am going to pop off the body and show you my new electronics and other ideas that I have for this truck. So, as you can see, just ignore the motors. These are still the stock motors that are in here, but they're kind of laying in here for now. The reason why is I actually have my censored 21.5 motors coming in the mail. I'm actually just working out the deals now. So, I'll get those in soon. I have a Spectrum S6240 low profile servo to lift up the plow. The reason why it's serving like that is because the stock location used to be back here. If you have a Blizzard, you know that. I needed the space, as you can see. So that's why it sits there. It's a little overkill for the plow, but to be honest with you, it was the only servo I had in my possession out of all the pile of junk that I had. I'll probably order a different servo, which is slower and has more torque, just to be on the safe side. Because of the other accessories that I am going to be attaching to this. So I'm going to have the Spiker RC blower that's going to be attached to this. I'm going to have other different types of attachments. I am redesigning the plow. I'm going to a V style plow that actually has servos underneath the control of the V plow. So that's going to be cool. I'm going to do a rear scraper and some other accessories. So it's going to be universal. But to the electronics, these are the actual electronics I am going to be running. But all the electronics will be waterproof, just not all of it's not waterproof right now. I am running two Tamiya TBLE02S ESCs. The only reason why I'm running these is because they're super cheap for a censored style ESC. These things are dirt cheap. You can get them really, really cheap because they come in Tamiya kits. A lot of guys will actually just take the ESCs and just put them to the side and upgrade them right away, so they don't even use them because these are universal. So you can actually run a censored brushless motor on these, or you can run brush. But right now, as you can see, I'm running it in brush mode, but it will be on censored brushless mode when my motors come in. I'm running two 2S shorty packs, one on each ESC. I'm running an FS IA10 10-channel FlySky receiver because I run a modified FlySky i6 that has 10 channels and everything. If you want to know any information on that radio, check out my other videos. I already have one on it. I still have my circuit system that has to go in here. So a voltage regulated system with a 3S lipo, small lipo to run like my other servos, all the lights, everything else. So the 2S lipos were only running strictly to the ESCs. So I'll have another lipo in here to regulate the rest of the stuff, to control the servos, whatever, all the lights, etc., etc., etc. So I still got a lot of stuff to cram in here. So the more I cram in here, the more updates you're going to see. Other things I've done to this thing is I went a full bearing system on this rig because they come plastic bushings and they squeal like hell if unless you lubricate them. Ever since I put the bearings on, it was like a night and day difference, and it ran so much smoother. Other modifications I've done is, if you look in here, I have a totally different shock system setup. So I'm running a 50 millimeter touring car style shock on the top, and then I'm using a shock dampener in the rear. And the reason why is, if you guys have a Blizzard and know the stock system, it doesn't have a shock on it at all. It has a rod on the bottom with some nuts and some O-rings, and that would be the shock setup. But it would only move like this much. This setup, as you can see, look at that. Look at the 9-day difference. It's got full up travel, but I have a limiter in here, the little white tube that you see, limited so it doesn't actually droop down. So when you're going, it's level. As you can see, I've lifted it up here, but it's level. But it still has all that great travel. Best thing I've ever done to the Blizzard. After doing this, I took it for a run, and it was 9-day difference. It had better traction, it had better grip, it had less slack on the tracks. It kept it more stable that way, and it was just great. So I highly recommend that. Like I said, it's a 50 millimeter touring car style shock on the top, and pretty much another 50 millimeter shock on the bottom, but with no spring on it, with a limiter tube inside of it. That's all it is. So once you do that, you just got to cut the tube to whatever length you need for your limit, and then it has all the up travel, but still that's maximum down travel. So this way the ass end's not going like this, because that's super annoying. So I hope you guys liked this video. If you have any questions or anything, please feel free to actually ask me, and stay tuned for more updates. Thanks, guys.